morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and I was always told I had a voice radio, so today I'm showing you Sceptile GX. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always a good day when I'm able to show you a new GX. And when it's a GX of a Pokemon that's featured in Pokken Tournament, and long-time viewers will know of my ridiculous love for that game, it makes me even happier. I have a soft spot for any Pokemon that was playable in Pokken Tournament. Sceptile was, but is this GX any good? I mean, yes, but let's give a more thorough in-depth analysis, shall we? So, starting off, it is a grass Pokemon, and that's quite good, because it means you're hitting weakness against Lycanroc, which is very relevant at the moment, as well as hitting weakness against Lapras, which is quite nice. And it means that you get a few little tricks. Things like Lurantis Promo could work quite nicely with this, although to be perfectly honest, I don't know. I'm still not finding any deck that can actually use that properly, but hey-ho. 230 HP is on the lower end of Stage 2s, down to stuff like Greninja Break and Gardevoir, but it's still 230 HP, right? That's still quite a large HP. Retreat cost to 1 is great, because it means that Escape Board will give you free retreat post-rotation. And a weakness to fire, honestly, is fine. I mean, it means that Ho-Oh will be able to get a KO on you. And we do have those couple of Victini coming in the near future. I'll pop links to them in the description, both of which could be fairly good counters to this. But other than that, I think you're pretty much off the hook here in terms of weakness. But of course, we always need to remember that being a Stage 2 is inherently awkward. So if you're going to be a Stage 2, you need to be a good Stage 2. And actually, while we're here, let's not forget about the Sceptile from Celestial Storm, which is being released in just a week or two. In fact, exactly a week tomorrow, which gives all of your Pokemon with Grass Energy attached immunity to Ultra Beast, which means that if this Sceptile GX is good, which it is, we can combine these two Sceptile, and that will be quite lovely. So what does it actually do? Well, our translation here comes from the lovely David Hochmann, Mr. RappelmannTCG himself. And the first attack for 1 Grass Energy does 60 damage and allows you to discard a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Now, we've seen attacks like this in the past on a whole bunch of different Pokemon, and they're generally pretty gosh darn useful. The one that immediately springs to mind for me is Kyurem EX, which had this exact attack, except it was for a water double colourless rather than a single energy, although it was on a basic Pokemon, so it kind of evens out. This is very, very nice indeed. Drampa had a similar attack. Again, it was for 1 energy, but the problem is Drampa did 20 damage. 20 damage isn't very much. It doesn't add up very quickly. This, on the other hand, adds up super quickly. Now, damage-wise, it's kind of annoying, I'm going to be honest. Because with a Choice Band, you're going up to 90 damage, which double with weakness is 180, and the two most relevant Grass Weak Pokemon at the moment are Lycanroc with 200 HP, and Lapras with 190, meaning you won't actually get a one-hit KO. Now, you can always use Shrine of Punishments here, which will put 1 damage counter on each EX or GX between turns, which will then get you up to the numbers, but then again, it will also put damage on you between turns, so something to watch. The thing is here, this is for a single energy, and you cannot overstate how great single energy attacks are. Partly it means you can get it going, but it also means, and this is at times more important, you can reset it quickly. So something like Max Potion. You're using 1 basic energy to attack here. So you've got 230 HP. Yeah, there's a bunch of Pokemon out there like Rayquaza, for instance, that do have the potential to get a one-hit KO, but they're few and far between. Zoroark isn't getting a one-hit KO. Buzzwole is very unlikely to get a one-hit KO. It is possible, because if you look at Absorption GX, then if you've got 6 prize cards remaining, they can get a one-hit KO. But even Knuckle Impact, with a Diancie Prism Star and a Choice Band post-rotation, will only do 210 and not get a KO. Heck, it would take a Beast Energy and a Choice Band and a Diancie Prism Star to get up to 240 and get a one-hit KO here. Possible, but rather unlikely, because you'd also need the other 2 energy on there. So the fact that you've got 230 HP in a single energy attack means that you can just do 60, 90 of a choice band, while discarding special energy and then heal. This is what Gardevoir GX did back in November at the London International Championships. People were just playing Gardevoir, and rather than doing giant attacks, they were just putting 1 energy on, hitting for a bit of damage, and using Max Potion. That's an option you've got with Sceptile here, which really should not be overlooked. And that's before we even talk about all the special energy around at the moment. Beast Energy is a big one. Now, Strong Energy will have rotated by the time this comes out. But you've always got things like Counter Energy, which might see a bit of play, and Rainbow Energy always comes around here and there, and you never know when somebody's going to want to try and use Super Boost Energy in a deck. But really, it's for double colourless. Zoroark has been proven through everything else to still be the best attacking Pokemon in the format, and it attacks for a double colourless. Now remember that this is coming out post-rotation, and then we're losing both Special Charge and Puzzle of Time, which to put it simply means there's no general way of recovering special energy. Some Pokemon like Gardevoir have got attacks that can, but there's no general way to recover it. Meaning something like this against a Zoroark, you're not being one-hit KO'd, you can run them out of energy, and you can heal easily. This sounds pretty gosh darn good to me. Drampa's first attack was only ever an ancillary thing because it didn't do enough damage. And it didn't hit for any weakness. But that's not what you can say about Sceptile. It hits a pretty good weakness, it hits a decent amount of damage, and it gets rid of special energy. On a 230 HP Pokemon for a single energy, sign me up, ladies and gentlemen. And even the second attack is pretty good. 2 energy, move a grass energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench. Now this does 130, which means again we're a little bit short generally. With a choice band 160 and you're falling just short of stuff like Tapu Lele. You can always play stuff like Lurantis, but you're getting a bit awkward. Against non-GXs, there's a bunch out there that you will be able to get, like Registeel, for instance, but there's a whole bunch of ones around at the moment, like Empoleon or Solgaleo Prism Star, that have 160, so you'll be falling just short. Just like with the first attack, you're falling a little bit short with the numbers here. You'd like to be doing 160, so you could add a choice band to KO a Buzzwole, or you could just be KOing these non-GXs as it is. But it's still only for 2 energy. You're still doing a decent amount of energy, and if you're hitting weakness, you're up to 260. Even the biggest GXs that might come along will have 250. Think stuff like Metagross. I know Metagross isn't weak to grass, but as far as I'm aware, there is no 250 Pokemon that's weak to grass at the moment. Do correct me in the comments if I am mistaken. So with weakness here, you'll be getting a one-hit KO. And I really like the fact that you move a grass energy to your bench, because it means that if Sceptile goes down, you're only losing 1 energy rather than 2. If it doesn't go down, just attach another energy to Sceptile. And the energy you might have attached to the bench, you've already moved over there with the attack. So you're essentially just safeguarding against a KO. People used to love this when they played the old Tornadus. This is just brilliant. You're not losing an energy attachment or anything silly like that. You're just protecting against it being KO'd so you can keep a bit more energy on the field. It's awesome and I love it. And it's still only for 2 energy. Yes, once again, the damage isn't quite enough, but you got 1 energy on you and 230 HP. The other thing to notice, of course, is that if your opponent were to try and attack with something like a Gardevoir or a Tapu Lele, the fact that you only had 1 energy on you rather than 2 would actually reduce the amount of damage they're doing. Whoop, and indeed, whoop. The GX attack, 1 grass energy, heal all damage from all of your Pokemon with any grass energy attached to them. It's fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. It could be better. I mean, with these healing GX attacks, they're okay. They're not things we want to use all the time. What we want is a giant GX attack that does a huge amount of damage and gets us a big one-hit KO at some point during the game. I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is an amazing GX attack and a reason to play the card. It's not. It is fine. But there are going to be games where you've got a bunch of damaged Pokemon on the bench that have grass energy attached to them. And in that respect, it's going to be amazing. I don't know if we have a great Grass GX attack at the moment. Maybe if you played it with something like Tapu Bulu, that would be a nice 180 damage with a Choice Band. But then again, it's for free energy, which makes it a little bit annoying. The GX attack is fine. It's nice to have it there. But the fact that it's got a lot of HP, attacks for very low energy, discards special energy, I like this card a lot. You can combine it with the other Sceptile, which gives you immunity from Ultra Beasts. And actually, what's really cool here, you get immunity if you've got grass energy attached. So what you can do is use a second attack on Sceptile, then move the grass energy to a bench Pokemon that doesn't already have some, giving that Pokemon immunity from Ultra Beasts as you're going into your opponent's next turn, as long as you've got the non-GX on the bench. There is a lot to like about this card. Bit of damage and healing, getting rid of special energy, comboing nicely with the other Sceptile, and that's before we even get into Grovyle. Yes! And I am not editing that out because I've just gotten a Snorlax on Pokemon Quest. I saw it out the corner of my eye. I have been trying to get that Snorlax for 4 days. I've now completed my Pokemon Quest Pokedex. But yeah, Grovyle's also really good. We're going to talk about that very, very shortly. Indeed, that video will be up in an hour or two at the most. I'm going to be giving Sceptile 4 Wassies. And there's every chance it actually ends up being a little bit better than I'm giving it credit for. There's just a lot to like about it. I think people are going to be making Sceptile decks now, and that makes me very happy indeed. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about Sceptile, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, but remember the rule. Be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all of that, then head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, is to look after yourselves. Until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.